B'siyata D'Shmaya, Shema Godol Yis'aleh. The name Hashem will go up. Today we're holding here already, in the left side, Mama Yudaled, is B'alma Shemuk Sheli Rabbeinu Yoina. We're holding there. Shekota B'shar Tshuva, Shar Gimel, the left side, Azen Itbal Mashaiti Mukshal Rabbeinu Yoina and Shar Tshuva Simen Tedvov. You have it, Reb Chaim? Here. Look at the page here. Here.
Rabbeinu Yoina, the second paragraph.
Yeah, but second paragraph in the left side. See, you have it? Shekotav She'avon Gmilus Chasodim Chomo Yoiter Migeza. He says the sin. Look inside, reading word by word, Reb Chaim. The sin of.
It says because key.
Listen.
You said each word.
Key.
What's key mean?
Because.
Okay, you didn't say.
Because the sin of Gmilus Chasodim, not to do Gmilus Chasodim, Chomu is worse than Gezer, than stealing. Ve'evi raya bru, he brought a raya for the posuk in Yecheskel, Tetzayin posuk in Meroshim Tes. Ve'ine ze avon zdoim achoitech goin shubas lechem yad oni ve'nozik. It's a posuk in Yecheskel. I don't want to explain the pasuk. All this is a pasuk. It's a pasuk. The pasuk, he says like this. In the pasuk you see there that why Hashem punished. I have the Sha'ar Tshuva in front of me here. Why Hashem destroys Sodom? Not because they're stealing, because they didn't do chesed. They didn't do chesed. This is Sha'ar Tshuva Furosh. It says it. Why Sodom got destroyed? Because there's no chesed in Sodom. This will be that Sha'ar Tshuva. Look at Sha'ar Tshuva, Sha'ar Gimel, Ois Tedvo. You read him in Furosh there. So he says, Va'arei Ikar chet de Sodom, the Ikar sin of Sodom, uchisoin Gmilus Chasodim, is missing in chesed, Gmilus Chasodim. Ve'zeh kama muksheli ma'od. I had a question. Alo gezel sur mera. Stealing is sur mera. Gmilus Chasodim is aseh toiv. Sur mera garua. Sur mera is worst. V'oi sur mera is worse than, let's say, guy's a murder. What is worse? What is worse? The guy's a murder, or a guy doesn't learn Torah? He doesn't learn 1 hour.
I don't know.
No, he says. This is what he says here. This is
from the pasuk.
for the pasuk. The Cheskel. You see, the pasuk Cheskel brings the raya.
Is the worst. The sin of Sodom is worse than Gezer.
Worse than stealing. The pasuk. I didn't want to be the pasuk. He says there.
It's worse than which bechina?
He says there. Worse than which bechina?
Yeah, okay, that's the Mussar.
Listen. So listen to that. Very good question. Very good, Reb Chaim.
Yeah, it's true. It's not in all bechinas, and a certain bechina.
Oh, you get it? I would say very good. Listen to the end. Very good. Listen to that. Very good. Gmilus Chasodim is aseh toiv. Sumera is a maise. The aseh toiv is shem aseh. Now, let's say a guy steals, he does a maise stealing. Not to do chesed is shem aseh, not do nothing. So l'chura, stealing, a guy steals, he murders, he kills, he's doing a maise. And not doing chesed, not do nothing. So l'chura maise is worse. And not doing
it. But he's holding back from doing a commandment to Hashem. That's not.
Okay, but he's not doing a ma'aseh. So we know the rule. Ma'aseh and not ma'aseh. Ma'aseh is worst. That's the rule, klal.
Why is it a ma'aseh to not do something?
Not to do ma'aseh. I know. I always have Mussar Shmuos.
You could say sit down.
Wait.
You can't sit and get a ma'aseh.
Abchaim. I didn't hear you to then. Finish what you said. I didn't hear. I will listen to you 1 minute about it. He was talking. I didn't listen because it can add 2 people. What do you want to say?
So why can't we say that it's a ma'aseh to sit down and ignore my friends?
No, very good. Let's explain. But at the end of the game, you're not doing something. A guy needs a poor person. Listen. You go at the results. A person, I know. In your mind you ignore, but it's not a Mussar. Explain to me. A poor person says, "Give me food. I'm starving. Give me food." And you sit down in your room like this. You're not doing a Mussar. Again, a guy says, "Please give me food," and you sit down and you don't do nothing. You sit down, you don't do nothing. So that himself, you sit down and not doing. This is called what? What is it called? Sheva? Not doing a Mussar. If a guy calls it, it's a person like this. You have a person now is
he has food and he takes away
and ate the food. The guy's food, he steals the food. So the guy told me, not long ago, a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, not long ago, listen to this story. Not long ago, I was taking the bus from Giva Mordechai to the Yeshiva. An old person comes to me, says to me, "I feel very bad." He says, what he says to me, I was in the chamber of the Holocaust. I was in the Holocaust. And I was starving in food. And I was starving. He said to me, "I'm always starving." But this child, he got an apple from his mother. He put it under the pillow. Under the pillow. I was so starving. I stole the apple from him, he says to me. And I lived and he died.
Wow.
This is told me the story. The Meister Shaiman, and he says to me, all my life I feel bad. I was so much, he says, "You don't even know how starving I was, but I saw you had an apple." I didn't able to control myself. I stole the apple from him, and I saved my life. And he died for me. He told me the story. He says, what I could do already. He was in the 80s, 90s already. Okay? But stealing is a Mussar, and not doing chesed is what? Is a Sheva Tasa. Aval Tehila. Ze kama shon mit gali tamo. A lot of years I got the reason. Oysa simchosi gdoyle ad miroiv yekroso v'lo retziga. I got the secret of it. There's so much at simcha. I don't want to tell people. Kayadua, like it says, Darkai Eini Zocha. You're the first one. I'm telling you this chiddush. Or Beni, or my son. I don't remember. You were the first. This I got the answer, but for years I did not tell people the answer because I had the answer. I don't want to. I like have this. It's famous. He has a lot of times. He says the same. We tell him. He doesn't say answer immediately. He has to work on it until he works on it till he gets a meluba until then. And you're now telling the first one, or my son was the first. Vayin, and I killed to the reason why. There's a big chiddush. Now he says, Vayin, next page. That's the Ika. This is the Ika where the Mussar was. Vayin and Kachu. This is the main thing. To now. Matzin the Gemara broches. Besoy Perik Beis. And then the Perik Beis says like this. Rameir says, Gmor b'chol levav chol adas dorchai. Learn with all your heart to know my ways. Ulishkod adrochai adaltei torasai. And be a shagdon, be a masmid in the doors of the Torah. There's a guy who says the Rameir, the Gemara broches. Again, Rameir says, with all your heart, know with all your heart to know my ways, to know all the ways of Hashem, and you have to be a masmid, lishkol. What is lishkol? Every day to come to the Beis Medrash to know the doors of the Torah. Mukshe, he had a question. Moed, the first thing we come to the Beis Shamala, they ask you what? Not unknown the ways of Hashem. Is the first thing is to know what? I'm learning Torah. So why Rameir? First thing he says, Ladad roch. I first know my ways. Vin Torah. If you want to say is what? Gamze Torah, to know the ways of Hashem is also Torah. So only write down Lishkol Ladad Torah is enough. If you say is also Torah to know ways of Hashem, so only only say what? Go learn Torah, and more than that, only learn Torah. We have to say, ways of Hashem, and also Torah. This question he had, some we can have this question. Omno, kavonas nifloes, chiben rameir b'zeh adobo, nikva b'sechel odo. He says like this. Ki adobo nikva b'sechel odo, something that is like kavua in your mind, bergesho eter, your feelings, mamish clear, oise roshum chozek al odo, v'chuko gdola v'nafi. Something that is kavua in your seicha means it's clear to you. I mean, it's clear. Like, this is fire. This you won't put your hands in the fire. It's kavua in your mind. Not only that's kavua in your mind, and you feel it. You won't put your hand in the fire, you get burned. It has affected a person so much, and tremendous desire. I never touched this, and now this, and now that. V'hine. Mishem izboinen banogas olam. If a guy now explains, we would explain what he meant. Now he only says word. He didn't explain. Now he explains it. Ki v'hine mishem izboinen banogas olam al kol brios. The guy sees. He looks and he puts his eyes and he sees how Hashem runs the brios of the world, and koshikein odom. Not only the creation, animals, trees. How he handles all the world, and kosheken a person, asher kovod v'odo tatreinu. A human being, Hashem gives him kovod and respect around him. Choshatas tachas lagod. Everything Yeshiva used to say, choshatas tachas, everything under his hand. V'aledei matas chinom, everything is under his hand. Means controlling. It means control.
Why is he saying what's he added to what he said?
No, he didn't. He only is in the middle. You have to listen to the idea. When I finish one idea, I'll stop. I cannot stop because there's one idea. I can go back again tomorrow, but I need to get the concept. I have to get the concept. Is more words to be, but nothing I can do. You have to get the concept. I like to stop here, but you won't get the concept. The koshadas v'adei matas chinom shesichla atov. Hashem gave you a gift, a gift. What is that? Your seichel. Even you to be a poorest person in the world, but if you have seichel, you're a rich person. You're rich. It's not connected how much dollars you have, and how much pennies you have, and how much shekel you have. If Hashem gave you seichel, you're rich. Me'oid. Now what means me'oid? Me'oid. You're real rich. Then, b'yiku chash b'rabbi. But what is the problem? Eino sameach b'chelko yatov. It's not happy Hashem gave you a seichel. Mafsid shtel, you lose this world and the second world.
If you are not happy.
If you're not happy with what Hashem gives you, Einos mevin. He doesn't understand to be happy. He doesn't understand to be happy with his portion. He loses this world and the second world. We have to explain it as a Mussar. I want to get the concept. Okay. Every point you can go back and learn a Mussar. Every word is a Mussar. But I want to get the concept. I can go back. Omam is burning maybe a guy is burning to understand, but Tuvoi is Baruch Alakol. He understands Hashem is good al kol and everything. Befrat im odom bein tachlis, especially a human being, is no end. Umarzik toive moed ashenena min metuvah. And a person, human being, has a koras hatoiv. When you recognize Hashem does to him good, and you recognize Hashem, especially Hashem mamish is does no end to gvul. You have a koras hatoiv. V'hine.
Because he recognizes.
When you recognize, Hashem gives you more. When you recognize the good, Hashem gives you more. V'hine, miteva odom, the nature of a person, leo mishemekabel tovimenu. The nature is, if I do good to you, you like me. I give you more, I give you more, you like me. Befrat tomid arbem, if I give you every day and a lot, every day I give you $100. No, every day I give you $1,000. Every day I give you $5,000. Every day I give you $10,000. Every day I give you $100,000. But every day I gave you $1 million. Every day I gave you, every day I give you more and more. The teva is, he like his ways and he like his action. The one that gives it to you. Why? Because you want to be like him. Every day gives you, like you want to be like him. You want to act like him. The teva though.
That you love his ways. You like his ways. The one who gives you all the time, then you like his ways.
You like his ways.
Then you'll want to imitate him.
Right, said it down.
At that point, it's not.
But he says, "Kimosh iskalti."
You want to be like him if you recognize.
The one that does favors you them. V'shemo zacharti. The divrei admo. I know the ways of my Rabbi. What was Rabbi the Rabbi? We said at the beginning. Ish shalom. Beginning, we said we learned yesterday. Ish shalom. What we said yesterday. Who remembers?
Ish shalom.
Olev shalom v'roidev shalom. When I see my Rabbi, gives me every day so much yirat shamayim Torah. So I want to be like my Rabbi. What my Rabbi is? Ish shalom, olev shalom v'roidev shalom. We learned it. We had a couple. This is at the beginning. He says, I want to be like my Rabbi. Ki karti me. I only recognize a little bit. Rocha binosa v'chochmosa v'yirosa v'ratziti mori. That was I want to be like my Rabbi. I want to be like my Rabbi. He's so powerful like my Rabbi, he says. All the ways of my Rabbi is beautiful to me. The ways of the Rabbi is yofim v'neimim. It's beautiful and tasty to me. The Rabbi's ways is beautiful and tasty to me. Sweet to me. Alachas kama mishelev laki b'sichlo gadus Hashem b'sba b'tuva yesho. Kol sheken, if you recognize Hashem, the greatness of Hashem, the greatness of Hashem, will you say, wow, how much is sweet to you, the ways of Hashem? If you recognize the greatness of Hashem, it's so much. So, but teva, you want to be the same thing like a human being gives you every day, and what happens? You want to be like him, you like him and everything. So you want to medam him. So, kol sheken Hashem, you see, wow, you see the greatness of Hashem so much. So what happens, what? It's sweet for you. It's unbelievable, the ways of Hashem. Yachshav eich. And I check myself when I see the greatness of Hashem, and you say, how the world and the words, if I'm able to be like it. Kama oil, kama sina, kama kpeda, kama nekimo, kama netiro, kama albo, kama shicho etzi kolei sa'ev every second, babris purim etzom. How much Hashem forgives people, and how much Hashem doesn't give back, and how much He gives, how much He does it. You see the ways of Hashem, He's born in Betuva, you will see. Wow, Yitzalech Hashem. Want to be in the ways of Hashem. You see, when a moment you see the greatness of Hashem, I want to be in the ways of Hashem. There's only one thing is when Bechina gives you $100,000, $1 million. But if it gives you see how much gives you breath, gives you breathing, gives you the heart, everything. You see, everything. It's unbelievable. To understand the ways of Hashem, there's no way you can know Rak. The only way to see the Hashem is only by the Torah. We see clearly. This is the chidush. First he says, you want to get, why he says first thing, know the ways of Hashem? Because knowing the ways of Hashem will give you tremendous desire to learn the Torah. This is the big chidush, unbelievable. You got it? To know the ways of Hashem will give you the desire to get to what? To know what desire? To learn the Torah. I read the Loshe, he says.
No, not arguing, but just
I read the concept. I read it.
Before, and then why this is the logical.
Okay, I read it.
After.
What? He said because that Rameh says because Rameh says demolish. First, you have to learn the ways of Hashem, and then learn the Torah. Why the ways of Hashem? Learn the Torah first. Why? Because he knows the way of Hashem will give you chukok doila lishkoi bedal kater. This is the derech. Why they say that? Oh, this is the echetimtza, the emtzoi to get you to learn the Torah. This means the kasha is the chuyas Torah, the kasha is the answers, and if you don't have the ways of Hashem, it's not chesed. Now I want to go back. I want to check out to stop. If you have no chesed, it means you won't have Torah or nothing. I will go back and stop.